everybody, and welcome to another episode of Middle of the Road, the podcast. This week, we are discussing a new release from our friends at Netflix. They write me Christmas cards and everything. And that is the film Project Power. This film stars Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who will be affectionately known as JGL this episode, as well as some...
I refer to him as Hit Record Joe.
What is the girl's name?
Dominique Fishback.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Dominique Fishback. And that's about... I mean, there's
Also,
some other
not
recognizable
girl,
faces.
woman.
But
She's 30 years old.
woman?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
No.
No, she's 30 years old.
It weirded me out. I was like, why is this, this girl supposed to be, in high school? Looks like she's 30. And then I looked it up. Oh, it's because she is 30. Oh.
She didn't look 30 to me.
Yeah,
I didn't think she looked 30
she looked
at
like
all.
she was in high school. I was like, wow, this movie's here to, start this, just blossoming rap career of this small child.
I was getting flashbacks to early 90s slashers where it's all the high school kids are late 20s, early 30s actors.
or like Knives Chow. This is Knives Chow all over again.
Man, that's crazy. I see it with her. A lot of the times people will ask me what school I go to. It's I'm 32 years old. I'm not in school.
I got that question till I grew the beard, so unfortunately I don't have any advice for you.
All right, guess I'll just have to grow a beard. Yeah, in all fairness to the people who ask me, though, I still have, the complexion and acne of a small teen, so that'll do it.
I just want to say I think this is the fastest that we've ever gotten off track of.
Yeah.
I mean,
in all fairness, it started very on track about an actress, so...
And I think at this point, the longer Zach doesn't talk and potentially the more frustrated he gets, the more entertaining it is for the listener, right? and by listener, I mean listener.
Speaking of aging human beings, Rodrigo Santoro, did he just age
Colonel
a million
Sanders?
years in the
What was his
last
look?
movie?
I mean, the last thing I remember him in was, wasn't he Xerxes in 300?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to look him up. I was like, who is this
he's been in
actor?
plenty of stuff
He
since
looks
then.
so familiar, but at the same time, he's selling us KFC buckets. Who is this man? And it was him.
But I guess he's supposed to look wrinkly because he expands when he...
Yeah.
Spoiler. I think that's why he looks so old.
Makes sense.
I want the listener to know that I'm very frustrated with my co-host right now because they've never watched Lost, and so they would not recognize him as the universally disdained
I have seen
character
Lost.
Paulo.
I think all four of us... Ben, have you seen Lost?
I watched
No,
the first
but
3 or 4 seasons.
He quit at
and
the
I
best twist
So
of
yeah,
all time.
four of us have seen Lost, John.
He's Paulo. He's Paulo from
For
Lost.
an episode.
He's the character that everyone hated. So Carlton Cuse and Damon Lindelof were like, I guess we'll kill him off.
Project Power is directed by Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman. They directed Nerve, was their biggest hit, as well as Catfish, the documentary. I think they produced the show.
Catfish was their premiere, I think.
Yeah, and they also directed 2 Paranormal Activity movies, number 3 and 4. This is a Netflix original. I think it was developed through them. And then, but yeah, it's Limitless meets X-Men. Is that an accurate description?
I mean, pretty much, there's a billion movies, I feel that are about human evolution and superpowers, so take your pick.
But...
I say as I can't think of one off the top of my head.
But, yeah, it's... The plot on Letterboxd says, an ex-soldier, a teen, and a cop collide in New Orleans as they hunt down for the source behind a dangerous new pill that grants users temporary superpowers. I would not say they collide. I would say they conveniently and contrivedly intersect with one another. But, yeah, just to get some spoiler-free thoughts out on this one, since we're already 10 minutes into the episode and we haven't talked about the movie. I don't know. It's very fine. It's like a cool idea that just... the whole movie feels half-baked. Like, every set piece, every concept, every character and plot, I don't know, everything just feels like it's like the first draft of a potentially good idea. And while the production value is pretty solid and looks mostly pretty good and they do some cool things, I don't know. I was engaged, but the movie never went over the top. There was one or two like pretty affecting scenes. The aftermath, the rap sequence being the best one between Jamie, not the first one, I did not like that one, but the one between Jamie Foxx, who is Art, and
the first rap scene was her by herself. Then there was the school.
Okay, the
then
third
there was
one
Jamie Foxx.
Then the Jamie Foxx. Okay, so the third one. But
I like the school one, just the hard cut to reality. That was good.
I don't know. Didn't work for me.
You might say the snap back to.
But I was entertained.
Wait.
I enjoyed.
John, why are you the whitest one here?
I enjoyed JGL's accent, and while there was some interesting chemistry going on, I wish the script was better to pull it all together. Maybe the inevitable sequel, maybe they'll get it right. But I felt the same way about Old Guard,
I like that one of the bones you thrown
too.
to this movie was you liked his accent.
The music
it's
was
like,
okay,
what
too.
can I possibly find to praise about this movie?
Yeah.
What did you give it, like,
2.5.
score-wise, Zach?
2.5.
Oh. Okay.
It's a very
I'm
just
in the
down the
same-
middle of the road picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give it
Middle
the
of the
same.
road.
I'd give it the same. I give it the same score. It feels like, I mean, the star power of Fox and JGL is enough to keep it mostly entertaining. Like, I mean, they both just have such like innate charisma that they can make pretty much anything watchable. Which is what they do.
Fishback has a lot of
for this
charisma too,
movie.
by the way.
I think she has a couple of good moments, but I mean, I
think
maybe
her
it's 'cause
issues are with
she's in a
the
movie.
character she's getting to play, not with her performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it too. And it's like, I feel like you were saying it feels like the first draft of something, but to me it feels like a kid is writing it as he goes. And
Yeah.
then just and then there are certain things where it's like I would question it, but a 5-year-old would probably just keep going and try to build on it. And that's kind of what I had. I had a lot of issues like that. And I mean, like, for a movie that's supposed to be about superheroics and all that, like, my favorite sequence had nothing to do with any of that, which I guess I'll get into spoilers, but it includes a towel. And it's just that alone, like, that's an almost 4-star scene in the rest of this movie, which is not a good movie. It's not terrible, it's so plain, so uninspired.
I think
don't
there's
know,
inspiration. It just like it like the structure of the movie just doesn't make sense sometimes. Like why it feels like a lot of Netflix movies, which is just built by the algorithm. Like they hold back reveals that should happen way earlier. For I don't know. It could have been better.
Yeah. I'm pretty much in the same boat. 2.5. I thought the movie, like, it felt like it was dragging for a long time. I thought a lot of the, for the most part, other than the Abomination Expanding Man that we talked about, I thought most of the CGI was done pretty well, like the Burning Man in the beginning. I thought the ice sequence was cool, where the action was happening around a character so that they didn't actually have to get too in-depth with the action going on behind it. Well, I thought conceptually it was fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was fully realized.
It's a half-baked thing. Like, it's a cool idea that was weirdly executed.
It's just like there's a lot of lackluster execution on like a couple of interesting ideas.
Yeah, and for the most part, like, I was trying to keep track. Like, it starts out as like someone's behind it, but then other people are also involved with it. I'm like, wait, what is the motivation behind this? Why is this happening? Like, I didn't know if I was just being really stupid or if it was just super poorly written. So yeah.
No, it was poorly written. I couldn't tell you who was what and where the real government started and the crime syndicate. But I have no idea.
Yeah. So I just found the whole experience watching it kind of just frustrating, basically. So it's like by the end of it, I was like, yeah, I'm glad this is over. It was okay, but I'm not going to watch it again.
There were so many like movie logic flaws, like when JGL goes in. Like there's a point late in the movie
the
where
5 minutes.
There's that, but like he enters a facility late in the movie and it's like really high secure and everything, and then 2 minutes later Robin just walks through the front door and it's like, what just happened? There's so many little things like that.
Early on, he walks into a bank and the guy robbing it is just standing somewhere for who knows how long with this pill in his system, and somehow it lasts for a lot longer.
Yeah, and he's
like,
also
there's
on
just
a
so
very
much stuff that it looks
thing,
cool, but it makes no sense.
Yeah, again, that's the half-bakedness of it all.
Also, I just love that guy. Like, you get to see his butt, meaning he's not wearing pants, meaning he is a Ken doll. Just...
Hey, this was rated R. They could have shown us some invisible dick.
They could have.
John.
Yeah, I'm pretty much, I think, on board with all. In fact, I think.
The last thing I just want to say really quickly, like the color scheme bothered me so much. I was like, does this count as a Christmas movie? Because there's so much red and green. And at one point, Jamie Foxx even says Merry Christmas to someone. So I was like, what is this? This is the next Die Hard if people actually cared about this movie. Except Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
I think actually I started at a 3, but I think you guys have convinced me to a 2.5 because
feeling left out.
There are so many entertaining aspects about this movie, including some of the action sequences and some of the CGI and just the performances in general. But the structure of this film and the direction, I think the direction is actually pretty good as well. Especially if this, I mean, arguably is their first action film.
No,
I guess Nerve I haven't seen Nerve, so
like Nerve's a low budget but pretty substantially.
It's like action thriller kind of thing, yeah. And it's the action in Nerve is a lot better than what's in this.
I'd agree.
Gotcha. But like, yeah, it feels so haphazard. It wasn't slow for me, but even though it was moving along at a pretty
fast pace.
I won't say fast pace, but
steady
like followable pace. Steady pace, yeah. It did, like, I noticed the things that Ben was saying about how it just seemed like there was ideas after ideas after ideas, and it was kind of it seemed like they were just throwing ideas against the wall and seeing what stuck. Mm-hmm. And it didn't not work, but it didn't come off as like super well executed and just not as good as it could have been maybe. Or Zach, I like what you said. Like, this was really just made for the algorithm. It's a fun action superhero film with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Jamie Foxx. It does what it wants to do, I think, very well, or like to its satisfaction. But that being said, it's not great. I probably wouldn't watch it again compared to, like, say, some other one-off action films that JGL
this will have a sequel,
like, say, Looper. Like, I was thinking about Looper. Looper was like really well done.
That was directed by one of the best directors in Hollywood.
Yeah, you can't put this anywhere near Looper. Like, it's not. It's such an unfair comparison. Like,
yeah.
When's the last time Joseph?
That's
what's
the Rodrigo
last time
Santoro movie I've been trying to think of.
Yeah, he's very sexy man in that movie. What's the last good movie Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in? Dark Knight Rises.
The last one about the plane.
Oh no, there's got to have been something since then.
Where he's a main lead.
Shit.
I enjoyed Don John.
He did a voice in Knives Out.
Was Don John?
Yeah, he's
after?
a police officer. Don John was a year after Dark Knight. He directed that too.
Yeah, so I would say Joseph.
I thought he wrote it too.
Yeah, he did everything on it. He's good in Sin City. His bit. The second one. I also enjoyed The Walk.
I've heard good things about The Walk. Yeah, I haven't
The Night
seen
Before
it,
was fun
That's the tightrope
too.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, The Night Before was awesome. Yeah, he's good in that.
But that's 5 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
Did
after.
anyone see 7,500? Lauren, you saw 7,500,
Yeah, I was
right?
not impressed.
Okay.
He
So
was
it's been a
decent
good
in it,
5
though.
years. And I don't even think he's that great in
No,
this
no,
movie,
he was
but
in
he's
The
having
Last
fun.
Jedi.
Oh, he played a voice.
He was a voice.
So I'd
Has
say
he-
it's
has
been
he been
5
on,
years
like,
since we've
where's-
had a pretty good JGL.
Zach, what did you say about The Night Before?
It's good. It's solid. I think Ben likes it more than I do, but I mean, it's a fun movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I'm not going to say it's like one of the best all-time comedies, but it's definitely like an enjoyable and extremely entertaining movie. Like, it's worth watching.
Zach, have you seen Snowden?
No.
Okay. What was the last thing that Jamie Foxx was in that we liked?
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver.
Ugh, I can't with that.
I feel like there's
Oh,
always something
has anyone
stuff.
seen Just Mercy yet?
No, not yet.
No.
Robin Hood. That was not it.
Also, I mean, I think if she hasn't blown up already, I think Dominique Fishback, this will probably be the world's like mainstream exposure to her. So I think she'll probably actually go have a pretty storied career after this. Even though the two things that she's been in so far, Show Me a Hero and The Deuce, are apparently incredible as well. So
Show Me a Hero. It's good.
The Deuce is the James Franco and Maggie Gyllenhaal one, right?
The Deuce was good
Isn't
too.
The Hate
I
You
haven't
Give
finished it
supposed
though.
to be good?
with who wrote that? David Simon, who wrote The Wire too.
Like prostitute porn in the 70s in New York City. Yeah.
She's in The Hate You Give. That's supposed to be good.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I've heard it's good though.
We're bad film watchers.
Okay, so I think that's going to do it for Project Power. Pretty straight across the board. Spoilers. We'll go into spoilers. Spoiler-free section.
Oh, I thought you were
Project
legitimately ending the podcast episode. I was like, oh, wow. In all fairness,
Across
I
the
don't know if I
board.
have that much more to say, really. But
Everyone's like a solid C on this movie, average. Yeah.
But before we go into spoilers, would you guys, if someone was like, I think should I watch Project Power? Would you dissuade them? I don't think I'd dissuade, but I would be like, it's not great, but
I would say
not gonna
just
stop
go
you.
in with middle of the row expectations. Like, it's not going to blow you away.
I'd agree. I'm not going to tell someone not to see it, but I'm not going to tell them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go around saying it's great and then look like an idiot. So Project
As you
Power.
often do.
As I often do.
Tell us about it.
Remember
Tell
how
us
we were
about
all trying to
Fan
get
Four
Zach
Stick
to
again?
throw shade?
Project
Cough,
Power.
Alice in Wonderland, cough.
Maybe see it. And with that, we're going to go into spoilers for this.
So spoilers?
So spoilers. With that, we're going to get into spoilers.
So, spoilers?
Sure.
Spoilers.
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 All the spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
So we can all agree, Joseph Gordon-Levitt coming out in the mom's house and wearing the towel after wearing his hair is like by far the best scene in this movie. Like, that was a clutch move on his part, and like, oh god, that was so good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm secretly in the I don't think he's that great in this movie camp.
Yeah, he's fun, but he's not that good
He's
either.
fun.
Yeah, I mean, he's not
also don't know if
stretching.
But Joseph Gordon-Levitt
But so much of
being
it's like,
fun
I don't know
is
if
never
anyone's
not
character is
entertaining.
great, so.
Yeah, he's not stretching any like any like acting muscles, but I mean, he's definitely like entertaining throughout.
See, I was just, all the time I was distracted by, I was like, can he really just wear a Saints jersey to work?
I was also like, yo, man, I'm not sure how I feel about you buying this 30-year-old teenager a bike, like out of nowhere.
He didn't buy it. He
that
took
just-
it from the impound. He stole it for her.
That gave me real, like, that made me very uncomfortable. It's like, that feels like, I don't know. But he's a good guy, so I guess it's okay.
It's okay. He was exchanging it for drugs.
Well, and also, in his defense, the fact that she's played by a 30-year-old makes it, like, slightly better, right?
No. Because she's playing a
Yeah,
child.
if she was playing a 30-year-old, maybe.
No. This movie is very questionable with everyone. I love the part where it's like I wrote in the very beginning of the movie, I was like, if this movie tries to convince me that this child kidnapper and someone who sticks a gun to her is a good guy, I will hate everything. And sure enough, it's like, not only does the movie think he's a good guy, but she loves him. Like,
Yeah,
she wants him to be her dad.
There's a lot of quick heel turns, like, I'm gonna go in and arrest him. Oh, well, we should probably go kill these people then.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry, did we miss something? I don't understand where we just went. Like...
Yeah. Yeah, she had this, like, the fastest turnaround of Stockholm Syndrome.
Also, my favorite kind of what the fuck moment, just like the kind of no one thought this through, is like, Fox's character talks about them getting their powers from animals. Yeah. And then 5 minutes later, his daughter brings him back from the dead. What animal does that?
Yeah, exactly. What animal lights themselves on fire? Like, that's the first power we see.
Yeah.
Also, like, Jamie Foxx's power wasn't an animal. He was the fucking sun.
No. Well, that's why I was so confused with he was a pistol shrimp.
Are there animals that are bulletproof? Like, I mean, I know they're animals with thick hides, but...
He looked like he turned into a football, basically. Like, that was the texture of his skin. But, like, I was just so confused with that because they're like, it's just, you get what you get. But at the same time, you're like, can you not just specify what animal you put into it? Like, I don't understand why they can't genetically modify this in a certain way to be not so, like, haphazard with what happens.
Was Rodrigo Santero like a lopsided pufferfish? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, and remember, the one guy just blew up. So it's like, what animal just blows up?
Well, that's just a random side effect. Sometimes it just happens. And honestly...
Where are these gorilla suicide... Oh, they're probably gorillas.
You know what animal I would have loved to have seen? Like a gerbil, where just someone, like, gets to lose an appendage just to get out of a situation. That would have been a good
somebody
power.
Gets somebody gets a really long neck from a giraffe or some shit. Like,
but they were also like, like some animals can like regulate their body temperature, but it's like, why does that make her turn to ice? That's not how that works.
Yeah, again, just not a lot of thought going into some of this.
No.
What does Jamie Foxx's power kill him? Like, is there a reason for that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Do pistol shrimps die immediately when they do things?
I don't think so.
Why does it kill him and not Robin? Because it's like he's just flinging plasma everywhere, and she's like 10 feet away from him and perfectly fine. And but everyone else is just like decimated around her.
The bad lady got away too until that crane fell on her too. So
yeah. Yeah, but then I'm sure she was melted by him just exploding. It looked cool, but it made no sense.
In the sequel, we find out that she took a pill like at that exact same time and somehow got away. And now she's utilizing her powers of, I don't know.
All the powers. She just...
rams. Like she has horns now. And it's like really symbolic. Like she's the devil or something.
Her power's an armadillo. She can just roll into a ball and protect herself.
They need to work on their marketing because they're like, yeah, this thing makes you last forever. And then, like, they're clearly nowhere near that level.
What? When was this a Viagra commercial?
That explains so much of what was going on when I was watching it.
Oh, my God.
No, but I just figured out what the daughter had the powers of. She was E.T. because she walked by those one plants and they died and then came back to life.
Lauren's having some issues right now.
Yeah, I did. When they showed the plants, I was like, "No, don't you dare!"
Also, that's like one of those weird things too. Like, why did she not try to heal Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Like that. It's like this weird delay. Like she had an opportunity to help somebody, and then I get waiting to do it with her dad. But at the same time, it like is a weird story beat for her to just not do that.
If she has like all the powers, couldn't she just break out? Like,
yeah, you'd think.
What's going to stop her?
Good question.
If she can fling plasma like her dad, like literally melt through things, couldn't she just sink the entire fucking ship, grow gills, and then swim home?
Like, to her not saving Hit Record Joe, I think she might have just not liked him because at the end he was like, can you heal a bullet wound? And she just didn't respond to him.
Just smiled.
Like maybe she just doesn't like him. Like, no, I can't. Not for you.
I don't like your Saints jersey and your New Orleans accent.
But yeah, like what animal can just push bullets out of its body? Like everyone had like the
X-Men's
Wolverine, I guess. Yes. Wolverine's character can. They got him.
Well,
Is he based off of a
that was,
Wolverine?
like, one of the...
Can Wolverines do that?
Maybe that character got the Lycan powers from Underworld, where you just push the bullets out.
So like that was one of the inconsistencies that is like emblematic of the greater problems with this movie, in that at first we're exposed to it and it just seems like, oh, like people are just getting random powers all over the place and it doesn't really like make sense, but that's fine. But then they try to explain it kind of by saying, by almost implying that, like, oh yeah, like the powers that they're getting are powers that like we see in evolutionary like biology already, and it's just like, what? No, that doesn't make sense.
It's the same.
And so, but again, it seems like a good concept, and so they kind of start with it and they just run with it, and it's just not great.
Yeah, and that's how we get the Indomitable Rex.
It's the same thing. I haven't seen it, but it's that same premise as kind of like what's the Scarlett Johansson movie with the mind pills?
Lucy?
Yeah, where it's like, what happens if we use 100% of our brain? We already are! Stop it with this bullshit! And then it's like that same shit with this, where it's just like, we're unlocking, the human potential. It's like, okay, it was cool when Green Goblin did it because it was kind of cheesy and supposed to be. Not so much here, alright?
But I think this was done to a certain extent in the movie's defense. It did try to be kind of campy, and it was campy without being over. Yeah, I thought it was.
It was trying to play pretty serious. I mean,
yeah.
I'm with John. I think
disagree,
it didn't execute it, but it was like Joseph Gordon-Levitt feels like he's in a bit different movie, and then Robin's character. The Robin character's kind of in both worlds, and then Jamie Foxx is in the most serious bit, and it can't get on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm still just not over the fact that Robin's character is like doing surgeries with her mom at the vet center. It's like, when did she get the time
30.
to learn how to suture things? Yeah, that's true. Maybe she's just been held back that many times in high school. She's actually a 30-year-old.
She can't pass high school because she got her veterinary degree.
She's too busy getting those hours in at the vet's office. Yeah, but like just with the power stuff, and then with the government versus just drug, like was Rodrigo Santoro's character? He was just like a crime boss, right? Was he part of the government?
No,
I think he was trying to sell it to the government, but he was not. Yeah.
But it was already the government's drug. He was trying to sell it back to the government.
No, he was selling it to different like corrupt governments that wanted to like or like
he was like a middleman,
like, create like an oppressive.
I also just
rule,
don't understand, because it's like in the beginning the government was making it. Arguably, the usual typical route is to make super soldiers, but now the government's making it to just have human evolution. So it's like I don't understand the motivation of this government.
The government wanted to make super soldiers, so they enlisted the company with the T to do it. And then Jamie Foxx melted everybody, and they stopped it. But then the company kept on trying to make the drug, and that's where
the thing is,
comes in to distribute it to test out the product.
But those government agents are still like trying to get the people.
I don't think they're government. I think they're like private security for the company, which is similar to what the old guard had similar private security, corporate
But that guy
security.
who had that office in the back of his truck, they were like, this is the government.
Yeah, my problem is like they were doing this because they were told to stop doing the experiments. So now they're trying to do it like secretly so the government doesn't know they're doing it, and they're doing it secretly by just selling it to tons of people in a city.
But it's also been like 16 years.
Exploding and setting things on fire.
Yeah, that was the other thing I didn't understand. There was such a huge time difference.
But because Jamie
it's not very
Foxx's daughter wasn't born until after he was
Yeah,
tested
it's
on.
like the way he explained that story. I was like, oh, so they tried to get her as a child, like a baby, right? Oh no, she's like a teenager. Okay, maybe a 30-year-old as well.
That was also really weird. Like, it was an interesting idea to, like, the flashback thing, as it would, like, change in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But then it never really, I don't know, it was weird. Like, and then when they did it, where they had, like, the full flashback when they're in the car, you don't even get to see what happened when he's driving like that in real time.
He ran over some.
Yeah,
some
like he
road
ran into
signs.
like one thing instead of crashing into
Yeah.
he was driving through a cornfield in his memory. How long did he drive into a mall and like perfectly drive through the middle of the
Oh my
thing?
god, the wreckage behind him that we don't know about.
It's just like miles of bodies behind him.
Yes. And the girl just in the side seat's like, are you okay? It's
Yeah.
like, you just murdered a ton of people.
One of the effects things that I did like, though, was how it showed first, like, whenever someone took a pill, the, like, changes in the eye, and then and then they kind of, like, zoomed out a little bit and showed, like, what was happening in the overall body, whether it was the guy catching on fire or Joseph Gordon-Levitt getting harder. And
I thought your
just,
dick
like-
was getting harder. That was the joke earlier, right?
It's implied at this point.
It's a cyclical thing. Like, which came first, Zach?
Yeah.
The very chicken and the dick scenario. Yeah.
One thing that kept weirding me out, and it's only because I've seen it, but the pills in this movie are like technology, not like just pills. So I kept going back to Deep Blue Sea because there's this guy who takes these pills that are supposed to like make him smarter, but whenever he does, there's like robot signs behind him for some reason, and it's just like the weirdest fucking
which Deep
thing.
Blue Sea is this? I don't remember this from
Two.
the
The
first
second
The
one.
the
Okay.
really bad one.
It's the second one.
Oh, the really bad one, as opposed
Fuck
to
you, John.
the other bad one and
Hey,
the bad one.
most people are on Ben and my side, okay? Like, whatever,
Yeah,
you guys.
yeah.
But
So fuck you guys.
it just,
whatever.
the pills bothered me so much because every time it was like, they would say, like, the thing with Jamie Foxx at the end, he's talking to this woman, and like, he says something and, like, threatens her, and then, like, then shows the pill and takes it. It's like, why didn't someone just shoot him in the head immediately? Like,
Yeah, like
could have
when
stopped
he's
this all from happening.
when you have like Jamie Foxx is holding the pill in his mouth, like talking to the guy who has him tied up. If I were that dude, I would have just shot him like immediately.
Exactly. That's
see
what I'm
the pill?
just saying.
It's
I
not.
wonder if Jamie Foxx did a take where he sounded what he would actually sound like with a pill that big sitting in the back of his mouth. Oh, you guys let my child go, you know?
You know what the most dangerous creature is? Some people say it's a lion because it's big, but it's not.
He had that in his mouth.
What
How
person
long did
says
he
that
have
the
that in his
lion is
mouth?
the most powerful?
Like a good hour?
Well, I mean, the pills
Since
clearly
he got
last like
kidnapped?
20 days, so like that whole scene is like, whatever. I've just watched Shark Week. The lion is not the most powerful animal.
It's a shrimp.
Know your audience. It's just, I don't know why, but like as soon as he started talking about the pistol shrimps, I started thinking about there's like a female improv team that plays basketball. Mm-hmm. It's like I've always heard the pistol shrimps alluded to, but that's what their team is named.
I want them to do like in this if they do a sequel. I want people with powers that are like useless. Like someone gets like the eyes of a mole, so they take the pill. Oh fuck! And they can't see because it's so bright out and stuff like. That would be a
that would
far
have been
more
amazing.
Yeah, that'd be a far more entertaining movie to me.
And
where
then they
every
just
once in a
start
while-
making tunnels throughout their house.
No, they don't get all of the. They just get like the shitty ones that like someone gets like the hearing of a bat and they're in traffic, so they're like deaf for the rest of their lives or some shit.
Get, like you get the flight of the penguin. Like, it also just bothered me at one point that Jamie Foxx's character was like, this ain't no Batman and Robin, that's a movie. It's like, how dare you? First of all, I was offended that he said it was a movie, but then I was like, at the same time, I was like, I wish this movie was Batman and Robin. Give us some like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze puns right now when that girl's dying.
Nice to meet you.
Would have been so good. Yeah.
Zach, what did you not like about that scene? I actually thought it was kind of cool.
No,
I
enjoyed the concept, but like they kept on just putting Rodrigo Santoro's character like they're literally like 5 feet away from
That's
each other,
true.
but he would just like pop up on the screen, and it's like,
Yeah.
why is he not dead yet? Like they're like moving 2 feet at a time. Like the idea was good, the execution was poor.
It was also
Yeah,
kind of
that's
hard
fair.
to see some of the stuff
Outside
that
of
was
it,
going
yeah.
on, too.
Well, I think that was the point, so they didn't have to choreograph
Yeah.
it too much.
Yeah.
But like, I enjoyed just watching the girl though. It's like, oh, that must suck so bad. Though, like, she ripped like a finger off
Yeah.
on the floor. It's like, ugh, so gross.
They also should have either gone all in on the gore or like they seem to always be pulling punches with it, and it was like it would like really quick flash to it. I don't know. It seemed like they could have gone over the top with it, but they always just kind of shied away from it. Outside a couple of like close-up shots of.
I mean, Jamie Foxx did skewer a ton of people.
Well, and then he shot Rodrigo Santoro's like fingers like straight off too.
Oh yeah, that was gross. A lot of lost fingers.
Now
I'm just thinking of him hulking out again. It looked so bad.
Yeah, and it's weird because like everything else looks pretty decent, and it's just like this really shitty sequence that just.
Oh, actually, one of my favorite sequences and fight sequences was, I'm assuming he's probably like one of those bone-breaking dancers, but when Hit Record Joe is fighting someone in the boat and he's just doing all this different stuff with his like bending appendages and whatnot, it was just fun to watch because I'm assuming that was a dancer doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it was really cool just to think of the choreography of that moment.
It's a shame they couldn't put all these fun bits into more funness. I think that's going to do it for Project Power, unless somebody's got something else for us.
Probably, but who knows.
Next week.
I was also kind of frustrated with how they did Joseph Gordon-Levitt's boss's character. Because it was just like, oh, he had this moment of being like, very much like, we have to stand up for our city because it's been through so much shit. And then he's like, and then they just write him off at the end. Like, he never comes back again in any way. They're just like, oh, he's secretly
Courtney
on the
B.
take.
Vance was definitely going for something in this movie. Like with that hat and those sunglasses.
Yeah.
Next week.
You know what he's great in? If you guys watch it, just premiered the Lovecraft Country. He's awesome in that.
Nice. Oh, but about that scene with him where he's like yelling at Joseph Gordon-Levitt for like doing his own thing, and he's just like, no, we have to do this for our city. It's like, no, you endangered so many people by running into that bank with the hostages and everything. It's like, you should not be doing whatever you want as a vigilante. You can't be trusted.
We
already heard this isn't Batman and Robin.
Invisible penis on everybody.
Yeah.
But he is Robin.
Yeah, they could have.
And speaking of that, though,
They could have
it's
pulled
like
some Kevin Bacon nonsense.
But yeah, like the Ken doll gets on the bus and like the money bag explodes on him. In like the trolley, I think it was. And like the trolley driver keeps going like nothing happened. Like there wasn't just an explosion on your trolley. Like,
well, he was trying to get
so
away from the
stupid.
explosion.
He was trying to drive away from the explosion that was coming with him regardless. There was just so much dumb stuff in this movie. I don't know. It was stupid. I enjoyed some of it, but it was stupid.
Very stupid movie. That's going to do it for Project Power. Next week, I'm making an executive decision right here. We're going to do a flashback to 2000 to review Best in Show. The second film directed by Chris. What did I think that's what I said.
Best. I thought you said Best in Show.
Oh, Best in Show. It's
Best of Show?
Shut up, John.
It's the
Best to Show.
It's the second mockumentary directed by Christopher Guest, I think.
Best a
but
show?
I think he might have directed another movie in there at some point with Waiting for Guffman, but I feel like this is the most beloved of the little mockumentary trilogy. I feel like there's movies outside that he's done a couple things after that, but those three.
Wait, what about Spinal Tap? I feel like Spinal Tap.
Yeah, but he didn't direct that. He directed Waiting for Guffman, this, and A Mighty Wind, and I would say that was his definitely peak. His two movies after that is the movie one was good. Forgot the name of that one, and then
what was the one that Didn't he do Mascots?
Yeah, Mascots was okay.
recently?
I was a little disappointed with it.
Yeah, I thought it was. It was. Yeah, I mean, you're. Yeah, coming off of some other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Lauren picked Best in Show for us. She likes
Yeah, I did.
dogs.
I've never seen it.
And you're such a dog person.
I know, that's why I picked it. I've always heard good things. I'm probably going to hate it due to the type of comedy, but we'll see.
So come and see if Lauren likes a movie she's never seen before next week.
It's going to be like Isle of Dogs. It's like, you think I'd like it, but I'm probably going to hate it.
And until then, I'm Zach Oldenburg. Find me wherever you can find at Zach Oldenburg. Find us at middleofrow.com. Rate and review the podcast. Apparently it does stuff.
I'm Ben Grigsby. You can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at the Grigsby Bear. And you can find all of us on Facebook at Middle of the Row.
I'm Jonathan Rahul. You can follow me on Twitter at another Rahul J, and you can also follow us on Twitter at Middle of Row.
And I'm Lauren Heimbaugh, wondering if Jamie Foxx was the only character tested on, or if there's a bunch of children superpowered just out there reviving people. But that doesn't matter. You can find me on Twitter at Beware of Trees, and you can find us on Tumblr at middleofrow.tumblr.com.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Go watch Best in Show. And remember, the best seats are in the middle of the row.